Episode 251. Komori's on the lookout for a bargain. She can't see over the counter, but she can smell it, just out of reach. But not right now, though. You can't actually buy anything from these markets anyway, which is kind of a disappointment considering we sort of built it up lore-wise to be a market all across Eorzea. All the good stuff that you can get from the firmament are just right over here, which you exchange for other things. Anyway, we're not here for the markets, we're not here for Charlemagne, we're not here for even the main side quests, the main Ishgardian Restoration quest, or anything like that. We're going to take a little detour just outside before we do anything else. We are going to continue the main Ishgardian Restoration quest. But I wanted to stop here before I do anything else just so that I unlock this to do off screen, or something like that. We'll just make the excuse that Komori got all geared up to help out with the rebuilding effort, and since they're already done, she wants to put her efforts somewhere else. Actually feel like she did something, or maybe prove to everyone that she could have helped if she wanted to, if she was around at the time. So where she's actually going to put her skills to use is right here. This is normally the counter where you turn in a bunch of collectibles from gathering. So let's just say Komori came here to, I don't know, prove her worth as a collectible maniac or something, when Jamelona calls her over. Well, if it ain't one of our most reliable collectors. We've turned in one collectible off screen, and that's it. I'm kind of doing this as a way of farming scripts more efficiently than I would be doing it just turning in collectibles, because gatherers have to wait a lot of time for nodes to pop up to actually get collectibles from. Anyway, I should be reading this. Well, if it ain't one of our most reliable collectors, got anything good for us today? Actually, hold that thought. Just remember that I've got something for you for a change. A favor to ask. You wouldn't happen to know a girl by the name of Zoe Aliapo, would you? Sweet little thing. Born into poverty, she worked her tail off for my sister until she'd paid off every last skill of her family's debts. Recently, she struck out on her own, renting out a corner of the hard place to run her own shop. Girl's got a nose for coin that's a match for anyone in the realm, but she can also be a bit scatterbrained, which is what's keeping us up at night. We'd like nothing more than to stick by her side till she gets her new operation off the ground, but needless to say, we've got plenty on our own plates. That's where you come in. So what do you say? Think you could pay Zoe a visit and see that the girl's making ends meet? It'd mean a whole lot to Rowena and me. And I guess I can explain this after we get the explanation from the game. We'll just go along with the quest until they explain the true benefit of this. Why yes, I'm Zoe Aliapo. However, did you know? Am I famous? That's so exciting. And also somewhat terrifying. But most certainly exciting. Oh, but pray tell, whoever might you be? We're famous. Mistress Jamelona sent you to look after me? Why, how sweet of her to ask. And you to come, of course. Speaking of sweets, have you tried Adkirog? Gonna have to memorize that name too. I guess it's Adkirog. Have you tried Adkirog's pineapple pudding? It's so smooth and sensuous and... But where was I? Oh, of course. I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. Did we ask? I forget how this conversation started. With a loan I took out from Mistress Rowena, I rented out a room here in the cellars of the hard place. Can you guess what I'm using it for? Actually, let me just tell you. I'm running an orphanage. I call it Minfina's Arms, because it's like she's holding or she's holding the orphans and keeping them safe. In her arms. Get it? I'm still new to this, but I've already learned so much. For one thing, running an orphanage is really expensive. So I've had to skimp on a few luxuries, food, clothing, and the like. Yeah, luxuries. Why, the last thing I ate was Aunt Karog's pineapple pudding. And I had to make a single bowl last the week. It was a rather large bowl, mind you, but still. But this isn't about me, it's kind of about you. You're kind of a walking disaster. It's about the children, and everything I could be doing for them if only I had more gil in my coffers. Don't worry though, Zoe has a plan. I'm so confident in you. What sort of plan, you ask? You're looking at it. I've started my trading business right here in this little corner of the Heart Place. I acquire rare treasures and relics from the realm over, and sell them to wealthy collectors for princely sums. Oh, if only I could marry a prince, all my worries would be... Wait, what were we talking about? What's in it for my suppliers, you ask? I was just getting to that. Seeing as how I'm on such good terms with Mistress Rowena, you see, I was thinking I could pay them back in scripts scripts they could spend at the House of Thunders. I haven't actually asked her yet, of course, but I'm sure she'll say yes. Did I mention that we were really, really good friends? You know a thing about crafting, too? I knew this was Zoe's lucky day. Almost as lucky as the day when that nice old man paid me 10 times what that stone was worth. A whole 100 gil. Wait, what? Just because I reminded him of his granddaughter. You sold a stone for 100 gil? What is she saying here? I think she got a bad deal either way. Anyhow, what do you say? You can be Zoe's #1 procurement specialist. You'll do it, won't you? For the children? I'm kind of worried about you more, but sure. Oh, you're the best. The absolute best. I knew it the moment I saw your face. With you on my side, Zoe's House of Almost Splendors, I'm still working on the name, will be turning a profit in no time, and Menfina's arms will spread wide to hold every poor orphan in a loving embrace. Anyhow, let's make this official. Komoy, was it? Zoe is oh so looking forward to doing business with you. Did I say that for every collectible you bring to me, I'll pay you in scripts redeemable at Rowena's House of Thunders? I did? Good. Because that's exactly what I'll be doing. Provided Rowena applies, or approves, of course, which he will. I promise. Her word's good for it. That's how Rowena pays her hard-working employees after all. No gil, just scripts. Why, I can still remember her counting them out. 1 script, 2 scripts, red scripts, blue scripts. She'll be positively thrilled that Zoe's following in her footsteps. I just know it. I see the sparkle of curiosity in your eye, but Zoe, you ask, without any gil to your name, however did you purchase food, drink, and other basic essentials of daily life? You weren't wondering that? Well, Zoe will tell you anyway. At Rowena's House of Splendors, you can purchase an enormous flagon of pineapple juice for the low price of only 130 scripts. And who needs food when you have pineapple juice? Not Zoe, that's for sure. Pineapples. Pudding and pineapple juice. But where were we? Oh, you're probably wondering exactly what sort of treasures I'm looking for. Well, I'd be happy to explain. Zoe has her eyes set on exotic treasures of Near Eastern make and design. A little bird told Zoe that Near Eastern culture is all the rage among the Ishgardian nobility these days, and who is Zoe to disappoint such potentially generous customers? I'm counting on you, friend, and remember, so are the children. She talked a lot and I'm not sure I caught all of that, but we're helping the children, and Zoe, I guess. Well, Komoy has a plan here. She didn't help out with the Ishgardian restoration, but surely helping out some poor, starving orphans is going to make her more famous of a collector/gatherer/crafter or whatever than helping out the Ishgardian restoration, right? Just her way of getting back at them or something. Anyway, we gotta actually do this now. Welcome, Komoy. Here to help me do Menfina's work, I take it? Let's see how many smiles we can put on the children's faces today. So yeah, she deals in collectibles. And below level 99 we get a different reward. We get experience and certain scripts. At level 100 you get the better scripts. We just want the normal scripts to get the level 60 gear or whatever. Or even like the level 70 and 80 gear, or I guess we can only get the level 60 gear in this zone. And we know how to find these, we just like search for them. They give you this thing every time. We'll do this as a gatherer for the gathering scripts. And they're over here. Oh, we can just teleport. We don't have to teleport even, they're just right outside. And part of the reason I want to do this is because the timer is about to run out in 12 minutes or so. So I can do this right now, turn in like 6 is the maximum for one character, Zoe here. And if I do this within 12 minutes, which I might not even be able to do, then 12 minutes from now we'll get another 6 chances because the next week will turn over or whatever. Let's just try to get as many as we can. I should probably hustle. I also got the stag from the Ishgardian Restoration, one of the fate presents. I shouldn't be worried about that right now. I need these things. Right here, right? Should be easy. There it is. So yeah, here's the trick. You do this a bunch. You do it again. And then again. This is actually not that great. I need better stats, actually. I might be like under-leveled for this. What we got together now. We need like better... To reach the high ranking there, the collectability of green rarity or whatever to get the most rewards. If we do this 3 times, it's no better though. This one has a chance, well I can't really explain it now. I'm racing against the clock. We just gotta hope to actually get really high. Okay, now we can just do this. And hopefully we... Okay, well we didn't get any more... Oh wait, I didn't mean to do that. This one increases collectability, so I should be doing that more. Alright, it's been a while since I did this, so I'm not really explaining it well. I just need to collect it quickly. And we only need 3 of the highest rarity. There. Okay, so one more time. We do this to increase collectability. We gamble on this one to get the highest amount. It was a good amount. We do this again to gamble again. Highest amount. Hopefully. This is not enough to go past, so we need to do this again. And then we collect. No, collect. And one more time. Not enough. Okay, we're just doing this then. Come on, highest rarity. Oh, there's no way. Damn. Yeah, and there's even the chance of not even gaining anything. I really should just be turning in whatever I get, not focusing on the highest rarity, because I'm about to run out of time. Don't know how much GP that is, whatever. Does 3 of this? I don't think so. Yeah, I shouldn't even have tried. Whatever. Okay, this is the last one. I'm about to run out of time, I'm sure. There's gonna be cutscenes I'm gonna have to go to anyway. There's no chance. I said that was the last one, but I'm feeling pretty good about this next one. Last one for sure. How much GP is this? 200. We're just about at 200, so... Come on, give it to me. Right... there. Okay, so... Is it better for this or this? Probably this. So do this, then this. Go again. We're not good there yet. Gotta gamble, I think. Damn it, come on. I spent the GP and everything. God damn it. Okay, last one for real. Then I'm just turning it in. There's no chance. This one has a chance of not taking up any collectability or whatever, but integrity, I guess that's the term. But it's only a 5% chance, so it's not really worth using most of the time. I guess I need better stats if I want to make this happen, and the reason I'm doing this is to get better stats through level 60 gear. We just gotta turn this in. Six minutes? Damn it. There's no time. It's gonna trigger like a cutscene for the next thing, and I won't be able to collect the next 3 things. Should've given up faster. Yep, same explanation. We're turning in... this one... This is a form of ancient currency once mentioned in Ran-Satan, said to be a remnant of ancient trade routes long since abandoned. It's sure to strike the fancy of any connoisseur of Near Eastern history. Let's take a closer look. Oh, Komor, it's absolutely stunning. So stunning it's a shame I have to sell it. But I will make the ultimate sacrifice. For the children. Etc, etc. And it just goes on like that. Gotta turn in 2 more. Guess these 2. Another stunning one for the highest reward, and this one is only worth... How much is that? Past 450, so substantially less experience and scripts, but it's fine. And she says it's lovely. Not stunning, just lovely. Good experience in this too. Thanks to you, I've got so many Near Eastern treasures that I barely have space for them all. Fortunately, Zoe knows some very wealthy individuals who can hardly wait to take them off her hands. Tee. I'm happy to say that your Near Eastern treasures have found no end of fans among Ishgardian aristocracy. That's been fast. While with only the funds that have poured in thus far, I can safely say that Menfina's arms will stay welcomingly wide open for, well, at least the next couple of days or so. But is Zoe going to rest on her laurels? Perish the thought. Not when there are countless children still yearning for warmth and love. I can count on you, can't I, Komoi? Sure, just tell everyone that we helped the orphans. Oh, thank you. This calls for a celebration. Why yes, I think I'll treat myself to that last bite of pineapple pudding I've been saving since last week. Pineapples and pudding. If anyone deserves it, it's you, Miss Zoe. You're always working so hard to put food on our plates. She should work smarter, not harder. Hello, lady. Who are you? This is Komoi, a famous adventurer. She's the one who's helping Miss Zoe turn her trading business around. You're an adventurer, Miss Komoi? My mummy and daddy are adventurers too. I wish you could meet them. Mummy and daddy are the strongest adventurers I've ever seen. They're always keeping the people of Idleshire safe from nasty monsters. Or at least they were. The other day they went off to hunt something called a leap mark. They said they'd be home by sundown, but I haven't seen them since. Miss Zoe says they probably just got lost. Anyway, I was so scared and lonely all by myself, but then I met Miss Zoe. She's been so nice to me, just like a big sister. Sometimes she forgets to unlock the door or feed us. Yeah, that's Zoe, alright. But I know that's just because she's busy. Right, Miss Zoe? I just met you, Miss Komori, but I like you too. Anyway, I'm going to go now. My best friend promised she'd tell me a story about dragons, and I just love dragons. See you later, Miss Zoe, Miss Komori. That's Takebi. Just between the two of us, search parties have been scouring the land for any sign of her parents, but nothing. I know I shouldn't get the poor girl's hopes up, but I simply haven't the heart to tell her the truth. Besides, Minfina may still work a miracle yet. The day after her parents disappeared, poor little Takebi rushed out from her home to the city gates. She waited there day and night, in the beating rain and blustery wind, just so she could greet her dear mother and father with a smile the very moment they returned home. When I found her, she was sniffling and shivering in the cold, and that was when my inspiration struck. I would start an orphanage, right here in Idleshire, and take in all the poor children like Takebi, who were crying out for a gentle helping hand. And that's why I must keep to the task, and Fina's arms must spread wider and wider, that no child need know such pain and loneliness ever again. Is it supper time yet? Yeah, I guess it is. So yeah, these are custom deliveries. You raise the satisfaction week by week, and it's sort of like a mini... what's the word? Society quest, I guess? And yet there is still much work to be done before the finances of Minfina's arms are stable. To that end, Zoe Aliapo has a new favor to ask of you. Thanks to you, we're doing better than we were. At least Zoe's paying the rent now. But I'm afraid to say Minfina's arms is still a long way from achieving true financial stability. So Zoe got to thinking, perhaps we've been doing ourselves a disservice by limiting our dealings to the Ishgardian nobility, no matter how wealthy and generous they might be. That's why Zoe's decided to look the realm over and look big. I'm talking about consortiums, cooperatives, and conspiracies? Commiserations? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I found a promising new client, Master Gegarutu of Gegarutu Shipping. Have you been to his resort at Costa del Sol, Komori? They say the sun shines bright on waters clear, every day of every year. Teehee, that rhymed, didn't it? Anyway, I had an idea. What sort of rare trinkets and treasures do you think might tickle the fancy of those who live in a world of endless summer? If you're thinking cool and refreshing relics from the bleak, blustery highlands of Cortes, then I guess great minds think alike. Yes, this is a perfect opportunity to build upon the foundation we've laid. What do you say, Komori? Are you with me? Yeah, we're with you. And I wasn't going to skip past that cutscene just to try to get 3 more deliveries done, but the date would have turned over by now. The weekly whatever. So we're back up to 12 allowances. But the important thing is that... Actually, wait, does this apply? Yeah, now it's back to 6. So each individual gets 6 per week. And you get an allowance of 12 to spend however you like. So I guess for like maximum efficiency, you can spend 6 on one person and spend 6 on another per week. But with where we are right now, we spent 3 on her last week, technically, at the beginning of this episode, and we can spend 6 more on her this week. And the way that this works is that... I guess it's better seen in this screen. It's actually still optimal, technically. She needs 6 deliveries total to reach the full satisfaction rating here. It's kind of like offset in that way. If you did this 6 on Zoe every week, you would do the 3 that we did just now, and then on the same week you would have 3 to get halfway up this bar, and then the next week you would do 3 to fill this bar, and then 3 on the next bar, And that way it's kind of offset a little bit weirdly. But because of the weird way that we turn things in just now, we've actually optimally set ourselves up to turn in 6 every week to fill out an entire bar. Which is still fine because this whole quest line ends when you fill in the last bar of 6 all the way. If we did this the normal way, we would end the quest line by turning in just 3 on the very last of her bar. So, in other words, we don't have to wait any longer. We don't have to, like, wait an extra week just to finish up her quest line. It's still going to be the same amount of real-world time, is what I'm trying to say. Did I really need to explain all that? I guess I really didn't, but, I like thinking about this sort of thing, so I guess I just wanted to record my thoughts on it. My thought process. Whatever. So yeah, the thing that we can do is now... And I guess I gotta go back to that screen. Get this ice stalagmite from... the twin pools over here. Kind of a long distance flight, but we can do it. Before that though, let's upgrade our gear. We do have a fair amount of scripts now that we can use to more efficiently gather those collectibles. I think we just need a little bit more stats. That would be gear and then the level 60 stuff. Actually, is this? No, definitely not. So we are a botanist. Which of these is the best efficiency for scripts spent, I guess? Not that. Nope, not that either. Comparison. That's a pretty huge increase, I guess. From 55 to 200. From 40 to 200, but I'm not sure that's more gathering and perception on the offhand tool. That's about 120 gathering and 220 perception. This is about 180 gathering and 100 perception. So it's kind of like split differently between gathering and perception. If we got this, we would have 150 remaining about, 155. We could get the shirt. Might be the best thing to buy. All of my stuff is going to be level 55, except for this, my offhand tool. I guess the offhand tool is level 39, and this is level 50. And we don't have anything better. Not you. So maybe the offhand tool, why not? I think generally you want the main hand before anything else, but this might be like the biggest increase. Again, this is an increase of 180 plus 100. This is 120 and like 220. So I think this is better. And actually, gathering, if I recall, that's better for actually getting the material. Perception is better for getting like the collectability in this case, so I do think we want this. Oh, and we can get the shirt too, I guess. Or we can save for the X? Maybe. Probably save for the X. So we're going over here now. Might be quicker to go in from this side. Come on, give me Dravania. There. Yeah, I think so. Alright, now that we're not in a rush, I guess I can take my time and go over this collectability thing, I guess. Just because it's the first time that we're going through it. I don't need to explain it to myself since I'm the only one watching these videos. But since it's the first time I'm going through it as Komoi, I feel like as practice for putting down my thoughts into words, I'm going to give myself the full tutorial here. Well, not the full tutorial, just the bare basics. Should have been over by these pools, right? There. So, collectibles. They use the same 4 integrity that you would get from the normal gathering stuff, but instead you play this minigame with your integrity. You have the Scour ability, which just basically increases your collectability a flat rate. The Brazen Woodsman ability, which is a gambling thing. As you can see, it goes somewhere between worse collectability and better collectability. And then the Meticulous Woodsman ability, which, as you can see here, has a chance of not using up any integrity, which is better now because we increased our perception rating, I guess. And actually, do the tooltips say here whether it uses your gathering or your perception rating? I don't think it does, but I'm pretty sure... No, wait. It does use your gathering rating, so we did want more of that to increase our collectability. But I think perception also... Yeah, this also increases here, so if we do this, that increases all of our stuff here. And the benefit of this is that you don't have to gamble so much on getting a good rating here. This would let us definitely get really high up. Like so. And then we can guarantee on our next run, or whatever, our next usage, that we're at the maximum collectability without having to gamble here. But we could also just use this, and in fact we want to use this because we'll still get the max collectability without, or with the chance of not using up any of our actions. And the point of doing all that, even though we didn't lose our, or even though we didn't save any integrity, is to save as much integrity as possible, because you can collect multiple of the same item at the same collectability rating. There. That's the basics, I guess. I'm not sure if I explained everything correctly. It doesn't matter, right? I'm just explaining to myself. Oh, there's some kind of special note up there. We don't care about that right now. So yeah, we're gonna need 6 of these things at the max collectability. So do that. Do this. Yeah, so this is a case where this wouldn't help us because it wouldn't be max collectability. So we're just gonna do this. And now collect 2 more. And now unfortunately we don't have the GP to do the rest of that stuff, so we'll have to be slightly less efficient. Luckily these nodes are all over the place, so if you just have to collect 1 at a time, it's still fine, as long as you can get max collectability. This though is a problem because we can't really... It's only 191 per, right? And it says we need 600 in order to get max collectability. So what we can do is gamble on one of these, and if it gets above 200, then we're good to get 2 more of these, I guess, or something like that. The result was good, yeah. We can just do 2 more of these. And we've guaranteed 1 good thing. Just gonna do that again. Gamble on that. The result was pretty good, and actually it's perfect, because this gives us 190, right? Or a little bit over 190? Still. Just about enough. And there we go. That's all 6 we needed. So now we're going back to Idleshire and triggering the next event, I guess. Normally you'd have to wait a week to get the next story event because of the limitations on the turn-ins being only 6 per day. But again, because of the weird things that we did we turned in 9 in this one episode. So we're gonna get the next story beat immediately. What a weird mount. Welcome back, Komoi. I'm happy to say that the children are smiling more and more with each passing day. Delivery. All the highest quality, all above 600. Ice stalagmites formed from the dripping of pure cavern waters over long periods of time are known for their crystal clear purity. Speaking of which, what's the difference between a stalagmite and a stalactite again? G for ground, C for ceiling. Either way, this is sure to fetch a good price. Now let's take a closer look. Oh, Komoi, it's absolutely stunning. So stunning that it's a shame. I have to sell it, etc., etc. It's the same dialogue, I guess. They're all gonna be stunning. And they're all gonna give me a lot of experience. And one more. And another level, I guess. How handy. Thanks to your hard work, Zoe's practically swimming in souvenirs from the Highlands. I can just see the smile on Master Gegaruju's face. Kind of a hard name to say, Gegaruju, 2 G's in quick succession. And the gale flowing freely from his coffers, teehee. Is it Gegaruju or Jejaruju? Probably Gegaruju. The souvenirs you brought back from Cortes have been selling like, something that sells a whole lot. Master Gegaruju and his friends at Costa del Sol say that just gazing at them is as refreshing as a cool breeze on a hot summer's day. Why, the gale's been pouring in day and night, left and right. But that's not all. Now that our finances are under control, I can finally buy the books and writing implements I've had my eyes on for so long. We actually don't ever get to see inside the orphanage. It's kind of a shame. We're like the patron saint or whatever, the biggest patron to the orphanage. But just because of the game's design philosophy, they can't add in a new area just for this orphanage or whatever, I guess. But that's not all. Oh wait, did I read that? I did. After all, Zoe can't very well watch over them forever, can she now? I must help them cultivate their minds, that one day they can strike out and earn their keep on their own. Zoe was never cut out to be more than a humble merchant, but their future is just full of possibilities. I can't let them down. Her heart's in the right place, of course. She's just kind of all over the place herself. And to think that not long ago, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to pay the next month's rent. Just look at how far we've come, and it's all thanks to you, Komoi. Zoe thanks you from the very bottom of her heart. Today I think I'll treat myself to a fresh bowl of pineapple pudding. Freshly made 3 days ago, that is. Have to make it last, you know? Anyhow, I know you're doing the hard work, but even I deserve that much, wouldn't you say? Maybe treat yourself better, and then start focusing on making other lives better. Yeah. That pause, Komoi. I felt that. Oh, thank you. The last bowl I had was left over from last month's batch, and it was somewhat lacking in the smoothness one generally associates with pudding. Why, I almost thought I'd crack a tooth. Not that I actually cracked one, of course. See for yourself. Zoe's smile is as cute as ever. That one tooth that's slightly out of place only adds to the charm. At least, that's what Ruina always told me. Don't you think so too? Oh, you're really too sweet. I'll let you in on a secret. From leftover pudding to stale flatbread, no matter how hard a piece of food gets, you can always soften it up by soaking it in hot water. Yeah, that pause, again, Komori. I'm feeling those. Of course, it doesn't taste as good then, but at least it's easy on the jaw. And we all have to make sacrifices, right? At least, that's what I tell the children, when all I have for their suppers is day-old porridge. At least it's only a day old. And you're giving us the good stuff, I guess. Maybe give those to the orphan, we don't really need this food. And we're the patron, I guess. And yet, there is still much work to be done, before the finances of Menfina's arms are stable. To that end, Zoe Aliapo has a new favor to ask of you. I'll bet she does. Oh, but how far Menfina's arms has come, from teetering on the brink of bankruptcy to clinging oh so desperately to life. We now find ourselves this close to achieving our dream of actual stability, and it's all thanks to you, and me, and our clients of course, and the children too. What were we talking about again? Oh, that's right. Zoe set her sights higher and higher in search of her biggest client yet. You'll never guess who it is. I'll give you a hint. What begins with a sound and rhymes with aelstrom. Give up? I'll tell you, it's the maelstrom. A kind regular here at the Hard Place told me that the Admiral's planning to hold a massive war game of sorts. Doesn't that sound fun? And kinda scary. But fun. Anyhow, the word is they're looking for all the equipment they can get their hands on. Cannons, cannonballs, or more cannons? I have the list around here somewhere. Anyhow, I'm sure you can see where this is going. If you could procure for me a healthy stock of top-of-the-line naval material, I can guarantee you we'll be positively swimming in gil. But hopefully not drowning. Did Zoe mention she can't swim? But where were we? Oh, of course. I've written up a brand new register for items for you to procure. Or of items for you to procure. You'll take a look, won't you? Remember, it's not just Zoe who's counting on you. We must think of the children. I can't stop thinking about the children. They weigh ever so hard on my heart. What's happening now? Why, Komori, you've been working your tail off this week, haven't you? Oh, right. The end of the turn-in thing for the week, or whatever. Special cutscene. Speaking of tails, I really wish the orphan boys would stop pulling mine. Don't they realize how much that hurts? Anyway, I think you've earned yourself a much-needed rest. Don't go too far, though. Zoe's counting on you to help keep Menfina's arms going strong. So yeah, that's our 6 per individual per week. And then next week we can return to her. We'll probably come back to this questline like every once in a while, whenever we need to fit in something just at the end of an episode or something. And in case the name wasn't obvious, she's the older sister of Chloe Aliapo. I think actual sister, not just like adopted or whatever. These two, what a pair, right? They're both kind of scatterbrained, to put it nicely. Anyway, that's all I want to do for this episode, and that's all we can do this episode. Took actually longer than I thought, but oh wait, let's get better gear before we do anything else. Don't need to do that actually. Here. Gear, level 200. Give us the hatchet. And yeah, all of this. And there, with some left over. Kind of not a great look, right? But we can fix that. Like so. And even though we don't have the earrings or the accessories, I think this is pretty good gear for level 60 for now. And in fact, I think these pretty much only give you GP or something like that. Not gathering and perception. They still matter, obviously, but for what we're doing, we just need the raw stats, I think. We might want to focus on getting scripts for the crafting class next. Whatever crafting class we want, I guess. And back to the firmament. Continuing with the main Ishgardian restoration quests with Francel. We'll do all of that other stuff later, I guess. I'm just realizing I could have teleported here to that thing, whatever. Not by bread alone, and this should be like the last of the chain of quests for the main Ishgardian restoration stuff, I guess. Because they released beginning at patch 5.35 or something like that. Then the next drop on 5.45, then 5.55 after that. So just like 3 in a row or something like that. It doesn't matter. Just putting it out there. Putting down my knowledge into word form to be recorded. That's why I make these videos. Ah, Komoy, it is always a pleasure to see you here in the firmament. I'm certain you'll agree that the place is feeling livelier and more cultured than ever, is it not? I mean, it's the same as when we arrived, but sure. Truly we could have never hoped to accomplish this without the help of our preeminent skybuilder. You mean me? Probably not. We didn't contribute. Truly I have not the words to express the depths of my gratitude. Recently I have had occasion to take the briefest of respites from my daily duties and reflect upon the reconstruction effort as a whole. And in doing so, my mind oft returns to Amandaline's words that day. Remind us. An ever-growing number of Ishgardians now make their residence in the firmament, and its markets bustle with customers and exotic wares from across the realm. What more could be needed? The answer was clear. A place where those who live and ply their trade here can leave behind their worries and cares, and indulge in the finer pleasures of life. Hopefully affordable for like everyone, right? I'm sure he has that in mind. Yes, the newly completed Risen Song Quarter, which would have completed in 5.55 or something like that, shall be precisely that, and I would like nothing more than for you to be the first to walk its streets with me. If, of course, you have no more pressing commitments at the moment. Splendid. Then let us make for Sir Vaindro's grace. I think that you, too, will be keen to lay your eyes on a location which I believe to be the pride of the firmament. Yeah, I guess this is new dialogue. I am filled with the utmost sense of pride and satisfaction, seeing Lord Francel's dream come to fruition as it has. Pray take in the firmament to the fullest, Mistress Komoy, for you have played as much a role in this as any. We technically haven't, but we'll take the credit. Wait a second. Vaindro's grace? That's familiar. It's funny that we're doing this now. I really didn't plan this, but I guess it's thematically appropriate. No wait, is this even what I thought he was talking about? I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess we'll let him explain. I do hope our presence won't be a bother. Ah, forgive me. The building before you, or before us, I have dubbed Sir Vaindro's Grace. It is a place where the ailing and injured might see their wounds or maladies tended to. Okay, I remembered wrong. For a second, I thought this was just a stupid coincidence where we were going to another orphanage. I thought this was like some orphanage for some custom deliveries or something like that that you get later, but it's for sick people, I guess. It's more of a hospital. That would have been a weird coincidence, but it's close enough, right? Hospitals, orphanages, we're still helping out the less than fortunate, I guess. Some of our patients require only the briefest of treatment before they are back on their feet again, while those with more serious conditions might stay in these halls for months. There are even those here suffering from troubling sicknesses not visible to the eye, but our healers do their best to provide succor just the same. Probably like mental stuff, I guess, psychological. I think that's what he's getting at. The construction of the facility was first proposed by the House of Commons, but the plan was met with immediate and overwhelming approval in the House of Lords as well. How heartening it is to see our nation come together for a worthy cause. Needless to say, be they commoner or noble, in these halls all patients receive the attention and care they deserve, nor do we turn away any who seek employment here, regardless of their background or station. Beg pardon, my lord, milady, if I might trouble you for a moment. Fancy eye, big hat. I am but a humble artist, working to capture the reconstruction of the firmament on canvas for posterity. I saw the two of you here, and simply could not walk by without expressing my gratitude. Ah, but yes, I do believe I have had the pleasure of looking upon your paintings. You have our thanks as well for your most exquisite... Wait, why does your face look so familiar? You are of House Cheverdon, are you not? You are gracious indeed, my lord, to remember one of such humble blood. It is true. I once had the honor of paying my respects to you when introduced by Sir Audelfell at a banquet. Oh, don't mention that guy's name. And you, of course, Komoy. There is no greater honor than to see you before me. Pretty sure Audelfell was one of the Heavensward. It was always my dream to become an artist, to capture the world around me, in all its beauty, all its sadness, on my easel, that future generations may never forget the time we lived in. And yet, in times of war, there was of course no time for such lofty pursuits. And so I donned my armor and took up my blade, resigned to the thought that I would one day fall in the unending battles against the Horde. Oh, how my heart sung the day you felled dread Nidhogg, ushering in a new dawn for our great nation. At long last, I am able to lay down the weapons of war and take up my brush as I had dreamed of for all those years. Truly, it would not be an understatement to say that your heroism inspires every stroke that I paint. Yeah, we're pretty heroic. Ahem, forgive me. Moreover, I am proud to say that my work has been put on display right here, in the halls of Sir Vaintrue's Grace. Not to be overly presumptuous, but I feel there is a role for fine art to play in bringing succor to the hearts of the suffering. To that end, I have also made an effort to teach my craft to all who would learn. Okay, pretty good guy. Ah, there you are. I was hoping to inquire about the price of your latest masterpiece. Oh, pray forgive me. Clearly you have more important matters to deal with. I meant not to intrude. No apology needed, my good man. On the contrary, I have imposed upon my illustrious friends for far too long already. And with that, I shall take my leave. Thank you for giving this humble artist the opportunity to express his appreciation in person. Whenever you see one of my works, know that they would never have been possible were it not for you. Maybe he's like a Bob Ross type. If he paints anything like Bob Ross, then his paintings will definitely have a healing effect, I'm sure. Be proud, Komoe. Truly you have made your mark on our nation and its people in more ways than one. Yeah, we are pretty great. Now we shall make for our next stop, or shall we make for our next stop on our little tour? To Snow-Soaked Springs we go. It's always a lot of reading, so I'm always going to trip over the words here and there. Every once in a while. But this is a later place for custom deliveries. Not really a spoiler or anything, but we do come here later. I'm not sure we can do that soon though, because it's like a level 80 place, I guess, for those deliveries. The gathering locations might be in level 80 zones, but the crafting might be doable as long as you have the stats. Oh right, we can't mount here. And I guess we can let him give us the tour of this last zone before we call it an episode. We've already seen this place, but let's have him explain it. I welcome you to Snow-Soaked Springs. It's 3 S's in a row. That's kind of annoying to pronounce, but whatever. Maybe that's the last time I have to pronounce it, who knows. Snow-Soaked Springs. I welcome you to Snow-Soaked Springs, Komoe. The waters here are natural thermal springs, extracted from subterranean veins beneath Courses. We see to it that an ideal temperature for bathing is preserved by means of the finest fire crystals, procured directly from the Dravanian highlands. Needless to say, the springs are open to one end. Chief, miss, don't leave us here alone, I beg of you. Who are those? Oh, those would be the Limsa-Luminsin blacksmiths, I guess? Craftsmen, whatever. That we talked to during our time filling in for Francel as Overseer. In one of those earlier quests, I guess. Quit your whining already. You know that we can't very well stay here forever. Well, if it isn't Lord Francel and his Star Sky Builder, perhaps you could talk some sense into this fellow. As you well know, we are itinerant artists, plying our trade all across the realm. When we finish one task, we must move on to the next. We'd a mind to celebrate a job well done here before heading to Limsa for our next assignment, but I simply can't bear to see the chief here go. Why, without them, who will set me right when my hammering technique falters? Who will scold me when I am tempted to slack off in my duties? As you can see, this fellow simply refuses to let us go. Would you be so kind as to have a word with him on our behalf? All good things must come to an end. You have a job to do. This need not be goodbye. Do your job. I know this, and yet I simply owe so much to the chief for all she has taught me. I fear that I will not be able to live up to her expectations in her absence. And yet, I suppose you are right. I must soldier on somehow. It's just as the savior of Ishgard here says, so stand up straight and quit your whinging for once. That goes for the whole lot of you. You all had, and will continue to have, a hand in one of the impressive rebuilding efforts. Wait, is that correct grammar? I'm just reading that over in my head. A hand in one of the impressive rebuilding efforts this realm has ever seen. I think that might actually be a typo that made its way into the final version of this script or whatever. I usually expect that these would be patched out or something, if at all, but I think she's supposed to say a hand in one of the most impressive rebuilding efforts this film has ever seen. But I mean, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. So take some damn pride in your work, that the firmament might soar to even greater heights. Aye aye, Chief. Well, that was a rather unexpected distraction. Still, all's well that ends well, I suppose. And with that, I do believe we should be on our way. Pray accompany me to the main plaza of the Risen Song Quarter, would you? We will, in the next episode. We had enough walking around, so we'll just take a load off right here, in the snow-soaked springs, or whatever. Aw, we got wet. Well, that's fine, because we're about to enter the sauna. I don't exactly have the proper attire to enter the sauna with, which I guess would be like a bath towel, something similar to what everyone else here is wearing. But I guess this should be fine, right? It was a long day of helping out orphans and then walking around. Wasn't really that hard work. But I'm just gonna say it is, so we can say that we earned some luxury time in the sauna or something. Now would be a good time to take a break.